this Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. Hi friends, welcome back to Meryl's Mystic. I'm Meryl, and if you're new here, I am a mystical relationship coach, and I empower witches, bitches, and dudes to complete themselves in order to have healthier soulmate relationships and more purpose-filled lives. And today we are here to talk about Libra season. Libra season will be taking place between September 22nd and October 22nd, 23rd, depending on where you are in the world. And Libra season will be a much welcome change after the very structured, task-oriented energy of Virgo season. And the one thing to be aware of is that during this Libra season, we will be experiencing Mercury in retrograde in Libra. We're experiencing our Mercury retrogrades in the air signs this year. So it will have us kind of in our heads about things, but it will be things that we need to think about. And for Libra, it will be about our relationships. And so be prepared for a little bit of the stirring of the pot in your relationships. So if there's things that aren't being said or any issues that are being ignored, this Mercury retrograde in Libra could easily bring those up. And Mercury is the planet of communication, so when it's retrograde, there does tend to be some miscommunications happening. And so make sure that you're really being open and honest with those that are closest to you. That's really important. And to double check communications, in the sense of making sure people understand what you mean when you speak to them, when you are communicating with them. So if you feel like there's all of a sudden some tension in your relationship because communication isn't working so well, pause, breathe, don't react. Don't just fly off the handle and be like, well, how could you think that I think that? It's a good time to say, well, wait, I need you to make sure that you're hearing me correctly. Well, wait, can you repeat back to me what you just heard? Because I want to make sure that I'm communicating clearly to you, and I want to make sure that we're on the same page and that you understand what I'm saying to you. So there could be a lot of that stuff coming up for Libra season. So Mercury will be entering retrograde on the 26th, 27th of September, and we've already been in the shadow since the 6th, since the last new moon in Virgo. And then it will go direct October 18th. After November 3rd, we'll be out of the shadow. So a lot of the energy of Libra season will be a focus on our relationships, and very much so it should be focusing on nurturing the relationships that are most important to you. In Virgo season, you should have gotten some grounding, and you should have been able to kind of prioritize yourself and your world a little better. And so hopefully you've kind of realized, maybe there are certain people in your life that you just kind of have drifted apart from each other, and that's okay. And it's just time to focus on the people who want to be in your life, not necessarily the ones who make you kind of feel like a second thought, or the ones that have just decided they don't want to be around you at all. This is definitely a time to review, are we in healthy relationship with ourselves and with each other? And you don't want to be with somebody who doesn't want to be with you. So definitely focus on being with the people that want to be with you, and the people that fill you up with love and light and energy. And we already had some of that with this Pisces full moon. This Pisces full moon right at the end of Virgo season on the 20th, on September 20th, really helped kind of usher in this feeling, this focus on needing to make sure that you are doing things with people or doing activities with yourself that re-energize you, that fill you up with energy, that ignite you, that are the things that remind you of how beautiful life is, and how and why you came to Earth and chose to be human. And that's really going to carry into Libra season. So Libra season for me, I always think of like pink. That's why I'm like wearing my pinks today. I did my more pinky makeup. I have more pinky nails. Like, I love color association with the energies of the seasons. Stone association. I'll probably be wearing my rose quartzes and my pink rhododendrite. I think that's how you say rhododendrite. It's just, a lot of that is because Libra, like Pisces, is the other sign that I feel like really looks at life through rose-colored glasses. You know, there's this, they say that Aquarius is the most evolved air sign, and that Aquarius is usually good about getting in touch with their emotions. I feel like Aquarius is actually better at not letting negative things affect them, and Libra is actually a little bit more on the positive side. They are represented by the scales, so, and they are the only archetype that is not a living thing, which is interesting. And so I have met certain Libras that over the years that are just like, oh, we're boring, or oh, you know, there's just like nothing exciting about us, or they're like, you know, they feel like they have this reputation of being like cold, or too logical, and I just don't find that to be true. All the Libras in my life are some of the most loving people that I've known, and Libra definitely like has a reputation of can be like maybe a little more flighty, or a little bit of an airhead. All air signs kind of have that quality every now and then, especially Gemini and Libra, but Libra is the most forgiving sign I found, like almost to a fault. I feel like I see some of these like loving Libras that are just like such gems of people, and they like don't value themselves enough. They so easily push themselves aside, and that they easily get taken advantage of by those people around them who know that they'll just like say yes and do these things, and that you can just step on them and they'll like eventually take you back. So if you have Libras in your lives, like, don't do that. Show them the same courtesy of forgiveness, because I feel like some Libras aren't, what's the word I'm looking for? Libra energy can be not as stable. Like, they can appear to not maybe be as like stable as like an earth sign, but I feel like we should be returning this like courtesy that they give all of us of like acceptance and forgiveness. So whoever the Libras are in your life, like, just try to focus on their good qualities and forgive them when they're, you know, when you're maybe feeling like they're not tapping into their good qualities. Like, we need to hold more space for our Libras, because Libra holds so much space for us without even realizing it. And the energy of them is very diplomatic. They want things to be fair. They're really good at seeing both sides of the situation. Empowered Libras tend to be really strong in themselves, and just kind of like when they see that things aren't going to serve them, or they see that things don't align with them, they're like, don't care, just moving on. And I feel like that really carries into Aquarius, where Aquarians really quickly off the bat are just like, if it's not working for me, like, forget you, I'm not even dealing with it. It takes Libras a little bit longer to be in that strength, but man, once you see them really step into their power, it's like such a beautiful thing. So hug your Libras. Tell them how much you love them. Tell them how beautiful they are, because we need them. We really do. And it makes me so sad when I've met Libras in the past. They're like, I'm a Libra, it's boring. Like, no, it's not. It's not. It's just, in society at large, in this world, we so easily write off kindness for weakness, and that they are some of the kindest, most accepting people and most forgiving. So they're here to teach us something. So Libra is represented by justice in the tarot and the major arcana, and as you can see, justice is pretty perfect for Libra. We were talking about them being very diplomatic and being able to see both sides of the story, and we have the scales represented here, and then we have the sword representing air. And as you can see, like, I feel like this is a good reminder of like what Libra can be when they're in their full power and strength, and I hope that you got some of that infused into you in Virgo season. This is, all of these seasons have really been leading up to us being in our power and being our unapologetic selves, and now it's time to like really love that. And I think, like, notice that there's like the crown. I just kind of noticed that there's also like the shroud here and the pillars, and that is very reflective of the high priestess. So even though air signs tend to be very cerebral, remember that we all have intuition, and it's just about how we tap into that differently, and just seeing the signs of when things like feel good or when things feel icky. And so it's the scales. It's like, well, what do I want to give my time and attention to? Like, how is it really making me feel? This Libra season, with this focus on our relationships, there is going to be a lot of focus on forgiveness. The forgiveness that we offer to each other is not always for the other person. Sometimes we have to forgive people for ourselves and for our own peace of mind. Because sometimes the people that we feel like betray us or hurt us, they don't always deserve our energy and our time of like going to them and saying, hey, I really forgive you for doing this thing, especially if they're not like coming to you and being like, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Sometimes we have to forgive people without even getting any sort of acknowledgement or apology from that person. When I have to forgive people for myself and I don't have a way of telling them specifically, and forgiveness work takes a long time. Sometimes you can try to forgive people for years, and it just, and sometimes even when you do forgiveness work for those people, it doesn't, sometimes the hurt can be so deep that it's hard to let go. So for yourself, just start practicing this. Don't expect it to happen right away, but a good practice to implement when you're doing forgiveness work is letter writing that you don't send. So I've written a lot of letters to a lot of people that I don't send. A lot of time I burn them in full moon rituals, to just like let it go into the universe, send them, blessings. It's just about turning around the energy so that we're not focusing on this like revenge or ill will or like wanting them to hurt the way that we hurt. It's so easy to do that, and that just brings you into your lower vibrations, and we're better than that. You're better than that. You wouldn't be here if you weren't trying to live a higher vibration life. And I'm trying to live a higher vibration life all the time, but it's a practice. It is not something that you just like reach a higher vibration. You're just like, I'm up here all the time and nothing else bothers me. No, because we're still human. We came here to have human experiences, and human experiences come with the pain and the shadow, and it shows, and we have to experience that so that we can find our light and find the beauty in life in general. So if you have any more questions about forgiveness work or how to do that, please reach out to me. I'm really excited for Libra season. I really was excited for the Pisces full moon because this really speaks to like my calling in life and how I just really want to help us all be in better relationships with each other in the world, and it really starts with having better relationships with ourselves. So if you don't know how to start forgiving other people, maybe write a letter to yourself and forgive yourself about whatever mistakes you might have made in the past, things that you might have treated yourself wrong. There's just, it really starts with you. And so I really implore you to do some sort of forgiveness work during Libra season, whether it's for yourself or for others, or maybe you need to actually speak forgiveness to your partner or your parent or your child or your friend, you know. So there should be lots of opportunities for this, but make sure you're also doing your best to discern where, like, why, like, your motives also behind it. Why do you want to forgive them? Does this person even deserve any of my energy if they are coming to me saying, you know, I'm sorry, you know, I miss you, I want to be back in your life? It's like, well, we got to recognize where am I now? Like, I appreciate it. I let's squash it. But a lot of the time, things change because they're supposed to. Things change because we can't go backwards. And it's really nice to have some nostalgia and some good feelings about things, but we also have to remember our boundaries and remember why certain people just aren't in our lives anymore. And that's okay. And we just want to wish them well and wish them well on their path, because we're all on our own paths too. It's really about focusing on your own path and what you need to heal and to forgive and to live your best life, and how to protect yourself and how to tap into the joy and abundance that is all around you. So I really am sending you so many happy, loving blessings for Libra season. I think it's going to be a really great one. The first day of Libra season is also the autumn equinox, so we're moving into fall here in the northern hemisphere. So I'm really excited for some different energy. It was, you know, it's been an intense couple years. It was an intense summer, and so just give yourself some time and some space. Hold space for yourself, and don't push yourself too far, okay? There's plenty of time for that. This is about being a little gentler and a little more loving with you. All right. Thank you so much for being here, and let's get into your taroscopes. Hi, Leo. So good to see you. So glad you're here. Let's see what Libra season has in store for you. Ooh, 5 of Swords. Who are we cutting off, Leo? It's funny because I feel like a lot of the readings leading up to this, I'm like, if you gotta cut people off, go for it. If they're not for you, they don't understand you, if they are not supporting you, then bye, Felicia. Like, why are we playing around with this anymore? Why are we wasting our time and energy and words, like, and thoughts, and, you know, why? Ain't nobody got time for that, Leo, especially you. And I'm surprised if that is something that you're doing, honestly, because that doesn't seem like very Leo energy to me. Maybe somebody cut you off, and that's been hard. Or maybe like this, something could be coming for Libra season where you might end up seeing who somebody really is, and it's going to be unfortunate that you're going to have to let them walk away. I feel like the 5 of Swords, when it comes up, for me as a reader, is very much about cutting your losses. Because so many times I've seen people stay in relationships, hold on to friends, because it's like, well, this person owes me money. Well, we said we were going to do this thing together. Well, I said I was going to do this thing for them. I've done it. There's no point. You're sacrificing your own well-being, especially your mental well-being. Like, I feel like this is like weighing really heavy on your mind as it's coming up as Swords. Weighing really heavy on your mind. And there's no reason or time for it. There's so many other people out there that are for you, that love you, and whatever your excuse is for holding on to this person, it's just not working anymore. Knight of Cups is next. So the Knight of Cups is like Cancer, Scorpio, usually a younger water sign. Sometimes I feel like the Knight of Cups comes up as like the fuck boy or fuck girl or fuck them. You know what I mean? That sort of persona. Like, I feel like the Knight of Cups sometimes can be very, they're very much a charmer. They like to romanticize things, but a lot of times it can be like, you know, somebody, the Knights are always on the move, so it's not somebody who's going to be like sticking around. So maybe that is part of like this person that you have to cut off. Like, how is it going to be reflected here? I need to see how yeah, because it looks like the Knight is like walking away from the situation. So it could be this, I feel like this could be two things depending on who you are, because this is a general reading. It's either that you need to let somebody walk away, you need to cut this person off, like this is somebody who you think that you are like, that you love, or you think that loves you, and they might be saying all the right things, but they might not be doing the right things. It's like they say one thing or they do another. Actions speak louder than words. And also the Knight of Cups reminds you that like these sort of boundaries and letting these sort of situationships go, if this is you, is an act of love. And this could be, I mean, it might not be romantic. It could be a friendship or a partnership, like a business partnership. But because I know some Leos who are in like great long-term relationships, so this could be like a friend or somebody that you work with that's just like time to put some boundaries down. Like, you keep saying all these nice things to me, but then you're disrespecting me behind my back. Your actions are disrespecting me. Like, something's not lining up here. So what is it? After that, we have the Lovers. And the Lovers represents Gemini. It also represents reflections of ourselves. And there's a lot of reflections going on in Libra season because, like Gemini, Libra is a air sign. And there's a lot of this theme of how our relationships are also reflections of ourselves. So when it comes to this situation here, we have to also ask you, what is your part in it? How have you been perpetuating it? How have you been possibly contributing to it? Sometimes not doing anything at all is a contribution to a situation because you're not standing up for yourself, you're not putting your foot down. Sometimes just allowing things to happen is contributing to things in a negative way. So I really want you to this situation's also here to teach you something. That's another part of the Lovers too, is that the Lovers is about like soul connections, soulmate relationships, soulmate connections. It's not just romantic partnerships, like I said. And there are lots of relationships and lots of soulmate relationships that come into our lives that aren't actually meant to last. I've had to learn this recently also. I feel like I learn it all the time because I've learned it very well with like romantic partnerships, but sometimes it's harder to let the friendships go than the romantic partnerships. And sometimes even when your friendships feel like soulmate relationships, there's a time limit on them. There's a soul contract, soul agreement that you were just supposed to be with this person for a certain time through a certain situation, and then all of a sudden it's done. And sometimes it doesn't make sense. And sometimes it takes a lot longer to even heal from it, grieve from it, move forward from it than romantic partnerships. Okay? But it is here to teach you something. It's here to show you something deeper about yourself also. Okay, I laugh because the next three cards are the Knight of Wands, the Eight of Cups in reverse, and the Tower in reverse. So again, I feel like lately, like the messages are just coming so clear and quick, and it's like, this is all you need to know right now and need to take the action, is that like we're just getting validation here. So these things can make you feel like you're being like taken advantage of, taken for granted, beaten up a little bit. But remember that you're strong, Leo. You are strength. You are perseverance. You are beauty. And no matter what, you know who you are. You know how amazing you are, and you're going to be standing no matter what. But it does feel like then there's a warning here that if you don't walk away from the situation, if you don't let the situation walk away from you, if you don't like just let it go, it will be forced to let go, and possibly in a very dramatic, tumultuous, unfortunate way. It's like they're giving you a chance here to walk away gracefully or to let it go gracefully, because if you don't, there's tower moments coming up, and it feels like, especially when it's coming in reverse, if you don't let it happen gracefully, this situation is going to be harder for you than that other person, than that thing that you're walking away from. It's going to affect you way more. And that's so frustrating too, when you're sitting there and you know that like they contributed just as much as you did, but yet you still feel like you're the one sitting there like with all the inner turmoil, having to think about it all the time and obsess about it and wonder why it happened. So what do we need to let go of, Leo? Let it go, let it go. We need some Elsa magic. Elsa's a cold bitch, man. She's probably got some Leo placings in her chart for sure. She's probably like a Libra or an Aquarius. I feel like she's an air sign. Like, because she can be a cold hard bitch, but she's got like, she probably has like a Leo rising and like a Scorpio moon or something like that. Because there's like power there. There's power there for you. Take your power back. Take your power back in the situation. Let it go gracefully. Look at it. Look at yourself in the situation. Where have you been contributing or not contributing? What's your role in it? If you really lean into this and let it happen and don't ignore it and like let yourself learn something from it, you're going to grow and evolve from this situation and not just be heartbroken. You deserve better, Leo. It's just that they're like, all your guys are just like, you deserve better than the bullshit, okay? They're trying to help you walk away from the bullshit. And you know it's bullshitty. You know. And I don't know a lot of Leos who put up with bullshit, okay? You're better than that. Pulling you a postcard from Spirit by Collette, Baron-Reid. It says, you are divine beauty on the back. You are divine beauty, my love. Dear you, the simple yet powerful law of cause and effect means everything is in relationship. Every action on earth has a consequence, and even in the spirit world, there's a consequence for every action taken on your behalf. Right now, you're facing conditions that were set in motion by past decisions. Consequences are coming into being in your favor. They will remind you that making good choices and listening to your intuition pays off. If some things are a little off and uncertain, know that whatever you are facing, you can step beyond it, just by using your imagination and acting on that instead of reacting to what is being presented. Everything you think and do has far-reaching reverberations in the web of life. Move to higher ground and have faith that what goes around comes around. The universe is always self-correcting anyway. Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing, Leo? And that's the other thing too. Like, I think because you're so fiery and passionate and you care so much, you can so easily get hurt, and then you can easily get into this place of like revenge and wanting them to see their ways, and this isn't about that. Trusting that what goes around comes around, and the universe will take care of them the way that they need to learn their lessons. Okay? This is about you. And this must be a very powerful message recently, because I think it's like the third or fourth time I pulled this card for a reading. So we all apparently need to remember this. Cool. You can do it, Leo. You're more capable of doing something like this than most other signs. Like, I'd say, like, you know, maybe like Scorpio or Gemini. You know, there's, I mean, call your friends who you know can cut people out of their lives. Call your friends who also don't put up with bullshit like you. And connect with the people that are on your level. Start focusing on them. Stop focusing on the ones who aren't. I love you, Leo. I'm sending you so much love for Libra season, and I will see you for Scorpio season. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate all of your support. I'm sending you so much love. If you made it this far, please like and subscribe. Please hit that notification bell. Share with a friend. Go follow things at Meryl's Mystic on pretty much all platforms. And join me for my lives on Facebook and Instagram. My lives for October will be the 1st, the 15th, and then I will be doing a live for Halloween Samhain on the 31st. And I'll see you soon. Bye. Jesus, solid, solid 6.